Hello, this is my presentation on the Graham Heights neighborhood, the neighborhood that I'm going to be working in this school year, and also the neighborhood that I was able to be in for clinicals. So this assignment essentially is asking us to look at different community resources across Memphis and just to give a little information about them, see what their impact in our schools would be. So the first one I'll start with is the Heights Community Development Corporation, or CDC. We were able to talk to Jared Myers multiple times, and he emphasized the CDC's impact on the neighborhood at large and how they were working on getting fair leases, becoming fair landlords for parents in our neighborhood, students in our neighborhood, and how they also work on getting people out of bad leases. So if we have students who mention the fact that their parents have a lease that says if you contact code enforcement, you nullify this lease as 100% illegal. Jared said this has happened before, and then I have gone to court about said leases. So they're working with the community. They're working to actively stop bad landlords, which is a problem in the Graham Heights neighborhood, and they're also making sure that they're focused on community development, not buying houses, flipping them, making a profit. They're not a for-profit company. They're a non-profit company that is working to just affect great change. So this is a place that we can get resources for our students, help them out with leases, report bad landlords, help maybe get neighborhood houses that are gone into disrepair cleaned up, make sure no illegal activities going on in them. Just trying to make sure that the whole neighborhood's beautiful and taken care of and looks great. So that's Heights CDC. Next is Sue Costa's ministry. Sue Costa's ministry is for the whole family. They make sure to teach both students and parents. They have adult ESL classes every Tuesdays and Thursdays. One night session, one morning session. You pick one and you stay with that for the whole month. And there is a cost to get in. There's $10 registration, $25 monthly, and $15 for the necessary books. So at $10 and $15 are both one-time fees, $25 every month, and so they're able to get free childcare while they're learning, either in the morning or at night, depending on when they're available. And so this is a great resource for us because not only do they take care of kids from K to 5, that could be students or little brothers from, in my case, little brothers and sisters, obviously high schoolers, can go in, learn English, but also can send parents over there as a resource to get them to help out learning English if that's what they're interested in, because Sue Costa is all about maintaining bilingual individuals. They don't want to erase your Spanish or replace it with English. They want you to speak both English and Spanish equally, and they respect that culture and respect that foundation. So it's a super great resource in our community for our parents. Streets Ministries is another one. It's literally right next door to Kingsbury High School, so students can go in there and they can play basketball. They can get mentored. They can get fellowshipped. They can play some video games, and they are going through a leadership change right now, but there's a lot of available resources in this one building for students to access. They're open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. They have different hours during the school year, and so students are able to get in there and have a great time. They can literally walk from school right next door, get tutoring, work on their homework, play some basketball, read a little bit of the Bible, play some video games, just have a great time, be able to hang out. So it keeps kids off the streets, and also keeps them actively doing something that's going to help them for the future. So very similar to Streets is Memphis Athletic Ministries. This serves a different corner of the Graham Heights population. They are at Leewood, which is more by Treadwell, the Treadwell area. So students who might live in different areas can walk to, and you go to MAM instead of having to walk all the way to Streets if it's further away. And they're able to, again, get spiritual leadership, mentorships. They play sports and video games all at the site. There's art projects. They work on, being kind to the girls, making them meals. That's what the boys are doing, like passport to manhood kind of activities, trying to have good mentorships, show them what a man is, show them what they should be doing for the women in their lives, and everybody's able to get tutoring, work on homework. They go, not even during the summer, they're still working on learning. They're not making sure the summer slide is not in effect. So they're doing great work in our community as well. Again, along with all those other things, the Boys and Girls Club is doing very similar things as well. It's in a different part of the neighborhood. So students who can't walk to MAM or can't walk to Streets can go to the Boys and Girls Club. Parents pay $10, a $10 semester fee. And students are able to do sports. They are provided lunch and snack. They also have a passport to manhood session where men are gathered by older men and are mentored and built up and told how to do certain things. They're taught to tie their ties, maybe how to financial planning, pay bills. They have a recording studio, which is shown in this picture here, and they drop songs all the time. That's a really beautiful spot. It's one of the only ones in the U.S. right now. They've got a workout area. They told us about one girl who had body like self-care issues. She didn't really love the way she looked, so she went to the workout area and she was able to work out for months on months. And like, I don't remember the exact time frame they said, but she eventually lost 30 pounds and she loves herself. She works out all the time, so they're developing healthy habits for these students. They're able to get tutoring as well, so they work on their homework for power hour at the beginning of the day, and they make sure that everybody's either working on homework or getting tutored for that first hour. So there's a few other resources before I conclude. There's Christina Crutchfield, who also works with the CDC. She's working on those same things with being an activist for unfair leasing and unfair landlords, trying to get everybody squared away with that, make sure everybody's got a fair lease so they can survive on. There's a couple different officers from the Tillman Police Station, which is not in the Graham Heights area, but it's the closest one to the Graham Heights, and so they want to come into schools and talk about gang prevention and just make positive associations with police officers for students. And there's Amanda Hill, who runs the library, so she really was talking to us about how she wants all students to have library cards and grow literacy in the area, which is awesome. So this is Graham Heights. There's a ton of resources available. We are not going into these into empty neighborhoods with nobody who cares about it. And there's people who are passionate about the community, who love this community, who want it to be great. I didn't even get to talk about the different parks that are blowing up in the area. They're getting really well taken care of. They're becoming really beautiful. They're working heavily on them. So people care about this neighborhood. People love this neighborhood, and it's our job to come in and show the same care to their students. So these are other resources that not everything is going to be a teacher's job. There's other things that teachers don't necessarily get to give to students. And so instead of us taking on every single thing in the world, there's people we can turn to and people we can look to that have more expertise than us. So it was an awesome time doing the clinicals, and I'm really excited about being in this neighborhood. So thank you very much.